Hey there, Boots Owen here. This is a Lamona washer dryer. It has a model number LAM8900. I think it was made in 2022. We'll have a closer look inside and whatnot in a few minutes. I suspect it's almost brand new. I've put a pair of trousers in it, a pair of jeans and a towel. And I want to see if it works. So let's try it on a quick so that I don't just waste a load of time. 30 degrees, 600 spin. I presume I touch it here. Play. Door lock. I can hear relays and a door lock. I can hear a sock plus. I can't hear it. I can see, oh, I got water coming in. I've got the door lock sign. I've got a bubbles sign. Don't know anything about it. I found it on the street. That's as much as I know. Will it turn? Will the motor work? It's spotlessly clean. It's spotlessly clean. It's quite bizarre how clean it is. I've never found a machine on the street so clean. It's taken on a few bursts of water, but I don't see the machine drum turning, and I would like to. It's not a great sign, but it's early days yet. My suspicion is that this came brand new from the factory and didn't work and was just replaced. Lamona is sold with Howden's joinery. So if you buy a new built-in kitchen or any kind of built-in area, kitchen, utility room or whatnot, they will try and sell you appliances with it, I think. It's taken on lots of water, but it isn't turning. So there's two things. One is a wire might not be clipped onto the motor. Might not have a motor. We've just lost a little light here that was add sock. So I think what happens is up to a certain point, if you've forgotten a sock or something, you can press pause and open the door, but once the water level comes up above a certain point, you can't pause it and open the door anymore. But I don't see it turning. So what am I going to do? Am I going to have a go at it? It's taking on a good deal of water there. I could have tried it on a spin and drain cycle. I don't hear any relays clicking for a motor. I've unscrewed the top there. It's a tin top. It's an integrated appliance, so it should be in a cupboard or in a, built into a kitchen unit or that. I'm not hearing anything. Apparently this is a Beko. Yeah, it's down to 27 minutes and we're not turning, although at this point it is full of soapy water. Not great at all. What can we do? It could be as simple as a plug not being plugged in for the motor or something like that, but without tipping it over on its side and having a look underneath, there's not much I can do. At this point it should be agitating back and forth, but clearly that's not happening. It could be that there's no motor in it. I haven't even checked. Right, let's press. Well, I think at this point it should be turning, and it isn't turning, and that's probably what's wrong with it. So now it's flashing. Let's try and put it onto spin and drain. At least that'll get the water out of it that's gone down into it, hopefully. Yeah, so we've got the water pump is working and all of my sudsy water's coming out. There's a bit more coming out, okay. But nothing turning. My suspicion is that on a brand new machine, this was just a warranty replacement and it was just left out on the street straight away. That's a guess now from what I can see in front of me. So all of that good water is getting thrown out. Let's tip it over on its side. It's very, very heavy because it's a washer dryer. Now the pump's dry. I can get in and have a look underneath. So underneath we've got a tiny little motor, Arcelic. I suspect there's nothing wrong with the motor. That's what I would guess. I would suspect that the issue is coming from the control board, which is over here, and the fact that there's no power getting to it at all. So, using my touching fingers, just going to wiggle that connector there. I think, what can I see in there? Not much really. It's got a cover on it, so I'll have to take that out if I want to have a look at it. So I've taken the machine out and I've put it on its side to have a look underneath, and I've pulled out this board and I can't figure out what's going on really. When I plugged it in just there now, it's reverted to the spin that we had it on before, so I'll turn it back on to spin and drain, 12 minutes. Press start. You should be able to hear the pump. It's labouring a bit. We can even have a look at that, I guess. You can see the pump flapping around in there. But I'm not hearing anything out of this, so what I've done is I've given it a wiggle. Given all the connectors a wiggle on the board. I've given the connectors a wiggle up here in the motor. There isn't much I can do to it, really. If it's the motor control board that's gone, I'm not going to get a new one for it. You can hear that pump kicking in and out, but not the washing machine, which is a shame. Up on top, there's another board in here. I haven't pulled it out, but I've given the cables a wiggle on the side. It's a bit tricky really, because it's a new machine that probably has never worked, but has gone through all the hassle of being put together and then exported from Turkey to here, and then installed, probably tested, and then pulled out and replaced with another new machine from Turkey. And it's just nonsense that I can't even begin to fix it. Now, I'm sure there's wiser people than me out there who could have a go at this board. If you flip it over here, ooh, I saw a little discharge there from something. That was strange. See it? That's interesting. Let's turn it off and have a look at that. Switch it off up there. Plug it out. There shouldn't have been a discharge there. So we have capacitors that are charged up here, but just looking at those pins that were arcing. So it was the 4 in a row there with the gaps between them. Why would they have been arcing? Very strange. Because they're broken. Oh yes, we found a fault at last. Right. I love it when a plan comes together. Let's get that board out. So I had a look at this and I couldn't see anything, but if you can get right in there, I don't know if my camera can. You see those 4 legs in the middle of the screen? The one on the right is burnt out. Now, if I put a drop of solder on it, it doesn't mean it's going to work, because it might have burnt out something else on the board. It's very hard to get the lens in here. So if I put a drop of solder in there, it doesn't mean it's going to fix it, but it can't hurt to try. So you don't know if anything else on the board has popped because of that. Where does that one go? HS1 over here. It goes to this. It comes from here. Goes to this blob of big blob of solder here. Capacitor there probably. Resistor down to here. I don't know. I can only try, can't I? Could I get a drop of solder in there as it is? Maybe. Could only try. I wonder would that be it. So perhaps you can see in here I've just bridged over this with a blob of solder. The last leg there. We'll see if it works now. So I've plugged in the machine and let's turn it back on to spin and drain. I'm not holding out any hope here, but if I need to cancel it I will. Pump. We are turning. No way. Oh man, this is 2 days. I'm going to turn it off because it's on its side. Just turned it off. That's just amazing. No way did that work. No way did I find it. Wow, okay, so I think yesterday or the day before I managed to fix on a tumble dryer a cable rubbing to earth. The cable had rubbed its insulation off and was going to earth. Today, one leg. Oh man, that's just amazing and wonderful. Great. I'll put it all back together. We'll see if it works standing up. Sweet. Back inside, plumbed in. Let's turn on the water. There we go, water's on. Let's try spin and drain again. Just clicking and stuff. Play. Sounds like a door lock opened and then shut again or something. So there's a little bit of water coming out. I'm not sure where from. Maybe the laundry that was in it had drained down a bit. Now, it is turning. Now, it's very hard to see because it's so dark. Let's try and get a light on it here. I don't know if that helps. Not really. Suffice it to say, it is turning, so it'll do a 1200 spin and we'll just wait for that to happen, I guess. This is a big success, really. I've never had a repair as kind of, well, lucky and easy. So it's down to 10 minutes already. I have a feeling it knows that there's no water in it already. I hope it does. Maybe it'll speed it up a bit, but I would like to see it spinning. So it's definitely agitating. So the motor's definitely working again. So whenever that board was being manufactured, those little legs were bent and one of them snapped. And it might have not snapped enough for it to fail a test in the factory, but then when it got transported by road or whatever, or bumped somewhere, it snapped. And it was only that I was willing to touch it live and just give things a wiggle. Speeding up a little bit. Very silent. But it was only that I saw a little spark and thought, well, there's a spark, and took it out and had a look. We're down to 9 minutes already. It's speeding ahead. Now, going back to my previous video about selling washing machines, my update video from last week where I talked about selling washing machines. I don't know what to do with this because I don't like selling them. I don't really want to deal with people. And it's an integrated machine, which means it's even more of a niche appliance. And it's a Lamona, which means it's a Beko, which means if it was new it would be worth about 200 quid, I reckon. Maybe integrated 300, that kind of money. You tell me in the comments what a machine like this would cost. I think you have to get it from Howden's Joinery, so I don't really know if they sell them, you know, just as a one-off. I think you have to buy them with the kitchen or something like that. So the price is probably plainly obvious, but it's somewhat hidden. Down to 8 minutes. Would you ever spin? I think I'll turn off the camera and come back when it's spinning. So I'll put my microphone over by the machine. It does have a fairly unbalanced load on account of it's just got a towel in it and a pair of jeans. So the noise seems to be coming from the drawer shaking. And if I put the top back on, it's quite a good bit more quiet, a good bit more silent. So down to 2 minutes now, and this will be about as fast as it'll spin. Maybe it'll spin a little bit faster. So it looks like that's it as it fades away. I'll give it a test wash. I'm not going to make a video of that, I don't think. Not an independent video. Unless something interesting comes up, and then I'll talk about that. I might do an overview video of this machine separately once it's working. Ooh, it ends very quickly there. Right, excellent. Okay, so a big success for Lamona LAM8900. Excellent. The fact that that's just, you know, the tiniest little dab of solder. I barely even had the iron hot before I had it fixed. This must come up all the time. Tell me about it in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A like would be appreciated. You can be a member of the channel if you really want to support us and see videos before everybody else. Questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.